That's where I'd like to welcome in our first guest, political commentator and Newsmax contributor, Michael Reagan. Michael, great to talk to you again on this Monday. Happy President's Day.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
All right.
By the way, Reagan,
well, Michael, the president initially called Cruz. Go ahead.
I would just say my favorite president would be Reagan.
Yes, that goes without saying, Michael. We are going to ask for some of your favorite Presidential Day moments, and I think we might get some President Reagan in there, but we'll get to that in just a second because I want to talk more about this shooter. The president initially called Cruz mentally disturbed, and that is probably still the case here, but it seems there is movement, at least some Republicans this time open to changing our gun laws. Is this a smart move? Is this what's necessary, or is it too early to talk about this stuff?
Oh, it's not too early to really talk about this stuff. Find some compromises, make some compromises, get it done. But I will tell you, no compromise they will find would have stopped what happened last week in Florida. I mean, who let the kids down was not the government. Who let the kids down was the FBI. All the places that he was reported to for the kind of person that he was. I mean, those kids were let down by everybody. They weren't let down by Trump. They weren't let down by Cornyn. And it's really unfortunate what happened, but they've got to look at the reality of, why did this person why was he allowed to buy or purchase a weapon? Everybody agrees he never should have been allowed to do it. So what in the system, in fact, didn't work, and fix that?
Yeah, there is talk about these restraining orders, these gun violence restraining orders, these domestic violence restraining orders. That's one possible solution. But when you take a listen to what the family of Nicholas Cruz had to say about the shooting, it's not clear if that would have worked either. Let's take a listen real quickly, Michael, what the family of Nicholas Cruz had to say. They spoke to Good Morning America today. Let's take a listen.
The SWAT team called me and asked if I knew where my son Nicholas was. And I said, he's not my son, but I don't know where he's at. And at that point, I got in touch with my son, who was fleeing the scene at that point. And a description came out, and we put two and two together.
I was just furious and heartbroken. Absolutely just heartbroken, devastated. I still can't process it, what he's done, because this wasn't the person that we knew.
Oh, well, the president is hammering the FBI for not catching him while spending time on the Russian meddling investigation. The family here claims they had no idea that he was capable of doing something like this. Michael, what do you think?
Don't we hear that all the time when somebody does a heinous crime like this? Don't we always hear from the family that this wasn't expected, we didn't see it? We always hear that. I mean, just go back on everyone who's been found guilty or what have you of some kind of a heinous crime of this nature. Child abuse, you hear the same thing, which is unfortunate. But again, what's unfortunate is the FBI didn't do their job. What's unfortunate, the 36 times when the police went to this house because of this young kid, nothing was done. Nothing was put on the record to stop him from, in fact, purchasing a weapon. And let me just say something else. When I went to school, we had guns at school. We had rifle clubs. We had gun clubs. What's changed today is society. You can take the guns away, but you're not going to take the anger away. We need to find a way to get rid of the anger. We need to find a way to be proud of ourselves, proud of America, proud of this great country again. We're not. Every place you turn, it's always about anger. And we need to get rid of that. Why could I take a gun to school and not kill anybody? Why could people I went to school with in the 50s and the 60s and 70s take guns to school and not kill anybody? What's changed is society. You can take the gun out of our hand, but you need to start putting love in our heart.